Hello, my friends, and welcome to Youth Potential, a channel dedicated to helping young people with mental health problems. I have two books available, 102 Distraction Techniques and Self-Harm to Self-Harmony. Both of these books are only available on Amazon. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hello, my friend Scott here, representing Youth Potential. Sorry that I haven't been very active with making content for the YouTube channel. I'm finding it quite difficult at the moment to feel motivated and inspired enough to actually make one. But today, I've had this one drafted for a little while, and I don't think people talk about it enough in the mental health community. And this is borderline personality disorder, and the fact that there's people who live with this condition have kind of like multiple personalities, like different personalities. Now, I don't want you guys to get confused. Borderline personality disorder, get it mixed up with split personalities. I don't really know too much about that, but I can tell you from my experience of being a person who lives with borderline personality disorder that having these different personalities is really, it's kind of frustrating. Sometimes I can use it to my advantage and be flexible, but a lot of the time I'm just running on autopilot, and my behavior and personality is kind of a reaction as a response to stimulation around me, or whatever goes on in my head. Yeah, so if you know anything about borderline personality disorder, we experience mood swings, very sharp, quick mood swings. Trying to keep up with us sometimes is difficult, and we even struggle to keep up with ourselves half the time. Now, I wanted to talk about this video. In this video, I wanted to talk about borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder is people with different personalities. I kind of wanted to like break down my different personalities. Now, one thing I notice is that all these different personalities, they're kind of like characters. They're kind of like you could imagine if you were looking through like a comic strip, like a Marvel comic strip. You've got all these different superheroes with different powers and different personalities. It kind of feels like that in a way. I mean, obviously I can't fly or have like really strong muscles or make lasers shoot out of my hands or anything like that. But yeah, all of these different personalities that I kind of go through and around and experience and illustrate and demonstrate. I counted myself to have about 7 or 8 different personalities. Now, like I say, when I'm experiencing these different personalities, it's usually during such a very small and unique situation, like it's a response to these things, or my mind will be wandering off and doing its own thing, and then I will start to feel in relation to the kind of like the nature of the thoughts that I'm having. So before I share with you my different personalities, what I'd like you guys to do, if you have borderline personality disorder, in the comments below, describe your different personalities, like give them names if you want, because that's what I've done. I've given them all names and then like a few bullet points next to each one to basically say this is a description of that personality. So from what I can tell, these are all the different personalities that I have. I'm very self-analytical. I do try to pay as much attention to myself as possible. So I think I've broken these all down. And if you know me well, you would probably have seen me experiencing or behaving within these personalities, okay? I don't feel like me personally, who has borderline personality disorder, I don't feel like there's a default personality, and I don't think there's just like the real me. I don't think that's not really a thing. I think the real me is all of these personalities, but not one single personality is me, so to speak, if that makes sense. You guys with BPD, can you relate to that? Does that make sense? Anyway, right, I'm going to go through it. So I've not done these in any particular order. Some will seem quite positive and some will seem quite negative. So at first, my first one's called Young and Fun. So this is when I'm like the excitable child at heart, and I find it really easy to talk to children. I find it really easy to talk to my children. Some of my friends have got children. I find it easy to talk to them at a really young age. I don't know, I just like all this really bubbly, just like, ee! And yeah, and everything's really super fun. I have one called the Observer. I don't really say a lot when I'm this personality. I don't really do much, and it's called the Observer because I'm watching, I'm analysing everything, I'm pinpointing all these little points about different things, and I'm taking it in. And that can be very much a double-edged sword, because sometimes, like, you're taking things that you don't want to take in that are triggering, but at other times, to my advantage, I can, I notice things, and then that information's retained. Okay, I've got the short fuse personality, so basically any form of kind of stimulation around me, whether it be like, auditory or visual or something, all that kind of stuff gets really irritating. Okay, someone could be chewing their food at the table, and it will just be excessively, really louder than it will seem to other people. It'll be intensified, and it will just do my head in. And if anyone makes a mistake around me, I get really pissed off. If I've got this expectation of something and that isn't fulfilled, I get quite aggressive, and I end up, there's a fly just on me there. So sometimes I can get quite vocal. I will tell people what I think and how much it annoyed me, and very rarely it gets physical, but that usually involves me taking it out on myself. Okay, I've got Mr. Serious and Precise. I've been accused of that many a times, being too serious. Everything is taken literally. Whatever you say to me, if you're being sarcastic, I probably won't pick up on it, and I'll just think you're being serious, and I'll be like, why? And it'll be frustrating. Like, if anything goes wrong around me, people make mistakes, I'm just like, yeah. And quite often, if people are mistaken, I feel the need to correct them. Okay, I have the manic personality. This is where I'm laughing quite a lot, more than a sort of regular person. Get really giddy. I tend to find it easy to walk fast or to run, and I don't want to stop. I just want to keep up doing things and just trying to juggle as many things around as I possibly can. And also, I find ridiculous things very, very amusing that I wouldn't otherwise. Probably my least favourite part of the personality is the dead inside. I'm sure everyone with BPD has experienced this one, suicidal thoughts, you dissociating a lot of the time, you feel numb, empty, lonely, and self-harm can be an option. I've got the warm giver. It's a bit of a double-edged one. Sometimes it works out really well because I'm trying to be pleasing to others and being complimentary and giving and doing things for people, and I feel good about it. Obviously, if people take advantage of that, I'm not such a fan. I've got the chilled out dude, not caring the world, all is good. I think this is the one that I'm kind of experiencing at the moment. I feel pretty good, and I'm all right. Yeah, everything's cool. Just get on with it. And finally, I've got Mr. Motivated, or the dopamine junkie, as I call it. That is the post. Hopefully, that's my Pokemon cards arriving. When I'm in Mr. Motivated, I can't rest. I have to get up and do stuff. Quite similar to manic, but it's more controlled, and I have, vision. I know what I want to do. It's not sporadic. It's controlled and carried out appropriately. So yeah, that's the different kinds of my personalities within borderline personality disorder. I'd love to read yours. Please leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Stay safe.